Hey there guys, I hope all of you are doing good. We are going to paint a picture today. We're going to paint some flowers. I have been doing tutorials from Diane Antone. I will leave her link in the description box below. I wanted to show you guys, not just what I've painted, but I also wanted to let you guys know that Diane has printable sketchings at her website. I just think this is brilliant because she is all about getting you to paint. When you think about this, this is like a little shortcut here. If you are like me and you do not sketch or don't sketch, I am going to learn to sketch because Diane also has tutorials about sketching out your watercolors. But I wanted to really encourage you guys to go to dianeantonstudio.com. I'll leave that link in the description box below and download some printable templates. I just think that this is such a great idea, and it's not like a great idea just to be a great idea. It's encouraging, it's inspiring. So please go visit Diane. Today we are going to, let me flip back through my little book. Today we are going to do this little painting. This is called Painting Watercolor Flowers and Adding Doodles. I love this idea. We talked about that sketchy thing. I can't really draw, but I can put some blobs, and Diane would be okay with that. I can put some blobs on a piece of paper and paint. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to move some things out of the way. I've got some dirty paint water already going here. Let me get you lined up. And let's get started. So I'm gonna flip to a blank page here. Wow, I have some things I have not finished. This is a spatter paint that I need to finish up. I did watercolor for 20 days in April, from April 10th to April 30th, in honor of my son, who is a painter as well. He does acrylic painting and I do watercolor. He is amazing. I did this one this morning. This one was called How to Paint Easy Colorful Watercolor Tulips. And Diane says this is a quick greetings card idea, which I really did love. All right, so let's flip, and let's get to a place where we can paint. You guys, I'm just using a very plain sketchbook. This is not watercolor paper. I do have watercolor paper. This one's on watercolor paper. This one's on watercolor paper. This one's on watercolor paper. This is an Amazon Basics watercolor book that I got. It was very reasonable. I don't know why. I'm just choosing to do this. I think why I'm choosing to do this, y'all, is because it is a compendium, right? It is a collection of the paintings that I'm doing. And, for me to look back and see them is really encouraging. I'll maybe pick up a watercolor book at some point. But right now, this is what I do. All right. Let's go ahead and get some blobs on the paper. Sorry about rambling, but sometimes we do that over here. I don't know if all of you know or not, but I was a content provider, did magazine articles for a long time, and this whole AI thing is, I don't even know what to say about it. I know it's like a hot topic, and I'm not meaning to be hot topic. I'm just rambling about this and that. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know why I started talking about it. It's just a wee disturbing for me, for somebody who really made a living providing content, and now that's gone. it's very interesting how your life progresses. I spent most of my life being a musician and being a booking agent, and I had a couple of, I'm just flipping back here because I love to reference what I've done before, right? And I think that's a great learning tool. You are able to see what you liked, you know, what you did before, and I'm really liking the shapes that I can make with this Princeton Art and Brush Company round. It is a 12, it's not 12 inches, it's just called a 12. Okay, so now I want to delve into some purple and do several other little blobs right here. There's a real huge freedom in doing this sort of thing, and Diane encourages that. She's an excellent teacher, y'all. She's funny, she's witty, she's English, so I love her. My biggest, one of my biggest influences, just, you know, adult influences growing up, was my neighbor. Now, my neighbor's name was Joni, and she was from Wales. She was from Swansea. And I grew up in the 60s. It was, you know, you didn't, I grew up in a super small town. You just didn't meet people who were from England, you know, and one of my very favorite things about her was that she would give us ice cream cones in the summertime, and we would eat them at her picnic table. And it was just always such like this crazy wild pleasure to listen to her talk. I loved it. And she was a very proper English woman. Not so proper that she was stuffy or anything like that. She was just amazing. My parents still live in the same neighborhood as they did when I was growing up. And several years ago, Joni developed dementia, and it was just super heartbreaking. But I gotta tell you, even in her dementia state, she was so happy. She was she always smiled. She was always smiling. And I went to see her. You know, I always went to see her when when I would visit home, and she didn't know me, but she would take my face in her hands. So, you know, and just pat my cheeks. So at some level, you know, I think that she really did understand, you know, who I was, which was really sweet. For some reason or another, this brush is flicking, and I'll have to go back and see if Diane has any words of wisdom about this. Is like flicking specks into my painting, and I'm like, is it too wet? Is it, you know, do I need to do something to my brush, or what's going on here? But, you know, you can see it right there too. I'm thinking my brush might be a little too wet, but I think what I will do at the end of this is just do a little spatter on it, right? I mean, that seems like a great way to fix a wee mistake. And I mean, do we ever really make mistakes? Probably not. We just we grow as we make mistakes. Because I make them all the time, and I thought when I was growing up, it was like, well, surely at some point I'll stop making mistakes, and it was like, nope, still making them every day. What I want to do here, you guys, is put in some stems and some leaves, you know, kind of at the sides of this. So I'm going to go ahead and pop those in. I'm using my watercolor palette that came from Dollar Tree. And I really love this palette. It works well, you know, for a beginner person like me. I'm not a total novice. I did watercolor when my kids were little. I made custom stationery, you know, like with flowers and bears and things like that, and sold them in a little tea room in my hometown, which was really great. I mean, it offered me, you know, a wee bit of income when the kids were small, and then I went back to work as an assistant teacher in the public schools, and that was really fun. Worked with a great lady named Shelley. Man, I loved her. She was awesome. What we want to do is put some stems on these flowers. So I'm just going to kind of decide where I want them. Oh, I also do not have my glasses on, which I should probably put them on. Oh, looky. Oh, now I can see all those spots that I flicked on here. Darn it. Oh, well. I'm just picking up a little bit of green. My palette is super polluted. I do like using the top of this as a kind of a, well, I'm going to turn that into something. I'll show you in a little bit. Maybe next video. Again, another brilliant Diane video. Another brilliant Diane painting. All right. I can see that I did not take up enough space right here. I'm learning to do butterflies. Yes, I'm learning to do butterflies, but I'm also learning to paint bees. And I think that at some point, you know, I'll put some bees in here. That would be really nice. I don't know if you guys are experiencing warmer weather yet. We are not. It has been amazingly cold. It's not really, y'all, that it's cold. It's that it's not warm and it's windy. Yesterday we went to get, Chris made us a pond. Here's how this happened. Our next door neighbor, Dave, wanted to get rid of river rock that he had made a wall with it or something, and he didn't want that anymore. So Chris and I hustled over and stacked everything in a wheelbarrow and you know, toted it over to the yard. And Chris, in all his brilliance, made us a pond. He dug it. He figured out how to that doesn't really look so great, but you know, now it's there, so now we got to work with it. So he dug this giant hole, and he made us a 220-gallon pond, and he outlined it with the river rock. It is like walking in the backyard and being in the mountains, or by a mountain stream, you know, a lake, something. It's just remarkable. I'll show you what we're going to do up here in another video. That's a teaser right there. Okay. Now I need to put one more stem here. Flower. Oh, I mean a leaf. All right, so I'm seeing, you know, other spaces for stuff. And I'm just going to plop leaves in to kind of fill in that white area. And then I also said that I was going to do the splatter thing on here as well. All right, so this is drying. I want to show you the markers that I'm using to doodle with, okay? I'm using a lawn painter. This is a Derwent graphic lawn painter. They come in various colors. Chris got these from somewhere when he was redoing my art office when I was away several years ago. So he redid my office, and you should see it. We'll do a show and tell one of these days. So I've got several sets of these, and they work really well. I also have this Jelly Roll Sakura. This is a Jelly Roll 10, and it works well as well, but things really do have to be dry before it is happy to work. This is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, is a Sharpie permanent marker. It is an ultra fine point. I picked these up at Dollar General, the same place that the little palette came from. And I love Sharpies. I love Sharpies. I love the colored Sharpies. I love regular Sharpies. To me, Sharpies just rule the world. We are going to start up here. Let's see what I did with this one. So you can see kind of what I did here. This is, Diane did this doodle, and I loved it. I thought it was super keen. So let's go ahead. And I also see that one has some black in it. So maybe what I should do is, you know, should maybe put a little black in there and let it dry. And then that way I can kind of, I'll just kind of move to this one. I think this is the kind of painting that Diane calls an all-over painting. It's also, you know, in my mind, it's a progressive painting. It's a wonderful way to work on something. You know, let's say that you get I don't know, 30 minutes in the morning to do a little bit of art before you have to move on to other things. And this is it's a great way to experience art all day long, even if you just have like 5 or 10 minutes to sit and do something. The way these doodles work is just so much fun. All right, with this one, I think I do see a center here, but that's okay because I kind of want to, I don't want to do a center. I want to do just some little reachable, there we go, like that. Now with these, I want to just put a few circles in, just like that, and we might come back with maybe a darker color and sort of go with that. Diane, like I said, has the printable templates for her pieces. She also, you can join her her YouTube channel, or you can send her thanks and things like that. I think that that's something that we all need to kind of pay attention to, because so many creators are out there, man, giving it their all. And you know, just a little thanks to whoever, and purchasing from a website. I just really do love the I love supporting other people, and as soon as I am back at the worky day world, I plan to support Miss Diane. I'm flipping back and forth, I know. The farm, we had our first strawberry on Monday, which was, it's always exciting. We are not open yet. The farm is a authentic strawberry growing enterprise, which means we don't use what is called plastic culture. Plastic culture is when you force things to bloom by covering them in plastic. So, if you don't force something, you get a better outcome. All right, let's see what we might do with this. I might put one in here. This pen does kind of pick up some of the paint sometimes. All right, let's go back to this one. And what was I going to do here? Also, you can't be real fussy about this. Yep, see, my pen didn't work right there. You just have to kind of have fun with it and go with it. Oh, I was telling you about our pond. So Chris makes this extraordinary pond with a waterfall, and then yesterday we went to get goldfish for the pond, and then we got pond hyacinth and water lily. The water lily came in a package where we thought we were getting one water lily, and we were shocked at the price. We got it home, and there were two growing in the container. So what I did was I just cut them. I cut it down it was a really nice root block, y'all. And so it was like one plant this way, one plant this way. So I just cut it down the middle. I really do hope it survives. Man, don't you like that? That's a fun way for that one to turn out. All right, let's see. Let's go down here. You can see that I did this one in black, and I really kind of like that. So, but you know what? I haven't done swirls. Oh, you know what? I think I'll do black swirls. All right, Mr. Sharpie. Today's the day. You've been called into action. Now let's work. You have to talk nice to your pens. Everything responds to a conned word, doesn't it? Plants, people, the clerk at the store, your awesome server. We'd had a huge treat yesterday. We went out to eat, which we don't do that very often, and we stopped at a local cafe, and we had an excellent cheese pizza. I did cheese, Chris did hamburger and onion. And the little server was so sweet. There were two gentlemen who sat on the opposite side from us, and their conversation caught my ear because they were talking about vintage cars, especially the 60s-ish muscle cars. So I was interested in their conversation. And when they were getting ready to leave, I overheard one of them say, "You always treat us like family here, and we really do appreciate it." And I thought, what a sweet thing to say to somebody, because a lot of times, we kind of forget to acknowledge people and say, "Hey, you did a good job," or we like coming here because you make us feel good, your food is great, and just anything is better than a negative word. Oh man, I like that black. So I'm gonna go back. I did lay in a little center for this one. So now I just kind of want to go back and, yeah, just add just some little dots. Doodling is awesome, and Diane does it so well. She talks about, how I did my blobs, right? And then I put in my stems, and she talks about taking the blobs and stems and taking the piece downstairs and working on it as you're watching TV. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. So it's definitely something that I will embrace as the weather warms, because my little studio gets so hot. And I think, that would be an awesome thing to do. Or you could just take it downstairs and put it on or take it in the kitchen, and put it on the kitchen table and work on it there. We are watching Peaky Blinders, and we're at the very last episode, so I wouldn't do something like this and try watch Peaky, because it's like, holy cow. If you take your attention away from it for 1 second, it's like, what happened here? Okay, so you can see what's happening with my pen now. It's tired. And it's like, I'm tired of working. I'm just gonna make it work anyway. Put in a couple leaves right here. I feel like this needs to be perked up a bit. I like the way that Diane has taught us to draw, to use doodles, embellishments. You're not going to circle this, you know what I'm talking about? You're going to just kind of sketch it, and it looks so much better, like just when you sketch it. You can do a little sketchy around it. See? I mean, that just looks super cool. It gives it a painterly effect, I think, in my little humble opinion. Okay, so I am down here now. Let's see. Okay, so for the one that I did before, I just did some little white dots in the middle. I hope that's dry. Oh, I'm scared. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit more. I think with this one, what do you think? I think I could probably do kind of a similar thing to what I did up here. Okay, now that we have, she's still not happy, but that's okay. We're just going to go with it. I think with this, I'm going to put a little something like that. It's fascinating to watch Diane work. We also want to, we can sketchy around these as well. And I think with this one, I really do want to do those swirls again. But I've got swirls over here. You know, I should probably listen to what Diane says about composition. About, she calls it balancing the composition. And I think with this one, I'm just going to do, and we're going to go back and probably do a little more here. I had never heard anybody talk about balancing a composition. You know, I'm a bookmaker. I make journals. Painting is brand spanking new, except for my foray into making stationery when the babies were little, and the baby is 44 now. So yeah, it's been a while since I painted. The baby is 44, and his little brother is 37. I do not know how that happened. Oh, that was fun. That turned out well. And I am going to take, come on, baby, work. Here we go. All right. So you can see how, you know, this painterly kind of thing is going on here. That's what I really love about Diane and her work is you can achieve super painterly results without drawing anything, which is super nice. All right, let's go ahead and just sketchy around this one. I am not going to sketchy around all of them. Just going to doodle around that one. I think I'm going to doodle around this one as well. Really love the way that the water and the paper work together. I guess that's why I'm in this book, y'all. It's a nice thickness of paper, but it's not that you know, it's not a super textured watercolor paper. And I mean, maybe it's like the texture is just, I'm just not there yet. You know, I'll get there. And I have painted on watercolor paper, so it's okie doke. I'm sure it's fun. Oh, that one turned out fun, didn't it? All right, and we've got a leafy down here. This is freeing. It is like liberating. It makes you feel good. I went for a couple of days, like yesterday. I don't think I painted. What did I paint yesterday? No, see, I didn't paint at all yesterday because we did errands. Like I said, we went to the pawn shop and POND, not PAWN, and although sometimes that's not a bad idea, especially in the middle of winter. So I didn't get to paint yesterday. I can take some white and jazz up these little bits here. You know, the little leaves. I think I will outline that one too. I don't want to outline every single one of them. Oh, we said we were going to splatter as well. And when you outline, be very wiggly with your pen. Diane did mention, I know I keep saying her name a lot, but you gotta go visit her. She's like changed my life. Diane talks about, this is modern watercolor. She says that when you learn to paint, that you learn in a traditional, classical kind of way, and then you deconstruct what you've learned and you make it into modern watercolor. I really love that explanation. What shall we do? What shall we do? I think I want to, because I botched the whole, like, I don't know why that thing was splattering. I think I probably had too much water in it, whatever. So I can leave this like it is, and then I can come back later, and I think I will come back later and kind of do some of these colored line painter things, because I really love these, and they're very exacting. I like the way that they behave on this paper, and I like the way that they behave over the watercolor. It's just really super keen. All right, since we have a spatter going on already, then let's do a little more. I think it's going to have to not be much. And now I'm scared to do it at all, because I like what I've done. And I'm like, Okay. All right. That's good. Switch colors. Maybe I don't want to go too dark. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, and you should know too that when you paint, that things dry lighter than what they look like when you paint them. I didn't quite get that. I didn't know that. You know, there's always that temptation to go back and go, oh, that's too light and I need to make that a little darker. And it's best to, I did splatter on that one. Yeah, that's how it goes. It's all right. I probably should have put green down here. Maybe I'll do that next. All right, a little bit of green. So it can kind of mimic a little meadow-ish thing down here. I'm going to stand up because, oh shoot, I really didn't have that in a good place, y'all. I do apologize. There we go. I hope you did get the gist of it. I'm really out of practice doing videos. I didn't do them for quite some time. Okay, just, oops. I don't know how you just direct spatter, but just totally spattered in the middle of that. Eric, there we go. All right. All right, next time we will center a lot better, and just do it, man. Pick up a brush, get you some cheap paints, have fun, and experience some Zen with Diane Antone. See y'all later.